Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is Nur Farah Fadhliah Mahmud and today I am going to present paper ID ELS07 titled Assessing Diploma Students' Awareness and Perceived Usefulness of CEFR in Speaking Test Discussions. My team group consists of Cheng Lui Chin, Siti Huzaim Masahari, Akila binti Arshad and Siti Zuraina binti Ghaffar alias Abdul Ghaffar. These are some of the topics that I am going to cover today. Let's move on to the introduction of the paper. In today's globalized and interconnected world, effective communication skills have become more critical than ever before. Within the context of tertiary education, the significance of discussion skills cannot be overstated, especially in language learning programs. The ability to effectively communicate in a discussion strengthens one's understanding of course material and nurtures essential skills like critical thinking, active listening, and also empathy. However, it has become a barrier for most English as a second language ESL students. Such communication barrier persists even after completing school and tertiary education, making English communication skills essential for employability in the globalized era of borderless information and technology. As such, encouraging CEFR based speaking test discussions helps evaluate students' language proficiency, also offering feedback for improvement. Not only that, it fosters confidence, diverse perspectives and exploration, and enhances the overall learning experience. CEFR is the acronym for the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages. It has gained significant prominence in the field of language education as a comprehensive and standardized tool for assessing language proficiency. It is also being widely adopted across various educational contexts, such as educational institutions, language testing organizations, and language professionals worldwide. However, limited attention has been given to the awareness and perceived usefulness of the CEFR guidelines among university students and diploma students in this study, particularly in the context of speaking test discussions. Therefore, understanding students' awareness and perception of the CEFR is crucial for evaluating its effectiveness and relevance in guiding language learning and also assessment practices. Therefore, this study aims to fill the gap by assessing diploma students' awareness of the CFR and their perceived usefulness of its guidelines during speaking test discussions. By exploring the perspectives of diploma students, this research also seeks to provide valuable insights into the integration and application of the CFR framework, contributing to the ongoing discourse on language proficiency assessment and also curriculum design. Not only that, the findings of this study hold implications for educational institutions, language instructors, and curriculum developers. These are some of the literature review that I would like to cover. Firstly, let's take a look at CEFR in language education. Its evolution led to versatile application in diverse contexts, for example, in shaping curricula, designing syllabi, creating instructional materials, and also establishing robust assessment systems. Malaysia's adoption of the CEFR framework commenced in 2013, marking a relatively recent integration of this innovative approach to language education. So, the primary objective of CEFR framework is actually to enhance language education by focusing on reflection, communication, and networking within educational contexts. Furthermore, there is a growing need for research to explore speaking abilities of university students according to the CEFR framework. However, recent research has indicated that Malaysian students often struggle with speaking English proficiently, particularly in speaking assessments. Despite this, there remains a scarcity of information regarding Malaysian students' self-assessment of their speaking skills and awareness of using CEFR framework. Next, let's take a look at the importance of discussions for language learning. Generally, speaking skills play a crucial role in English language learning. Brown and Duke in 1983 stated that speaking is the skill by which students are most often evaluated in real-life situations. Bueno, Madrid, and McLaren in 2006 stressed that speaking is often perceived as one of the most challenging language skills for the learners to develop. A study done by Daranchi in 2018 highlighted that 57.52% students found speaking to be the most challenging skill, whereby McNaughton in 2020 stated that classroom discussions that involve in-depth conversations and specialized terminology play a significant role in enhancing understanding and fostering reading skills. Therefore, when students, when they engage in extensive discussions, it helps them to understand the language better, more important than just figuring out words or decoding words. Next, the perceived awareness of CEFR for language learning. After the introduction of CEFR in Malaysia, much research was done, and one of it was on teachers' awareness of adopting or implementing the CEFR, but not much on students' awareness of their CEFR results. So the research conducted by Darmi et al. In 2017, whereby they conducted a study on 25 Malaysian English teachers on their views on students' performance in English language proficiency courses via the CEFR descriptors. So what they found is that the teachers' views vary among English language proficiency courses. So this is also in line with a study done by Nurul et al. In 2023, whereby they found out that one of the challenges that teachers face in adopting the CFR in Malaysia is that even after attending courses, some remain unclear or in doubt in the implementation of the CFR, as well as not fully understand the framework. Same goes to Resma and Nur Ehsan in 2020 study, which has also the similar results to Uri and Abdul Aziz 2018 study, whereby they concluded that teachers were reluctant to use CEFR in their classroom. Next, the perceived usefulness of CEFR in speaking tests. So, on the other hand, if the teachers are aware of the usefulness of CEFR and also the implementation of it, it can straight away give impact to students on students' awareness as well as the usefulness of their CEFR results. Glover in 2011 found success in the use of Common Reference Levels (CRLs), which is one of the tools in CFR for self-assessment, and he found out that students received support from the teacher that helped to raise the students' awareness of their speaking skills. So here it can be stated that it is very important for the teachers to be aware and fully understand about the CEFR framework and also the CEFR descriptors, as it can enhance language performance, especially when they are familiar with the framework. Now let's move on to the research objectives of this study. The first research objective is to evaluate the extent of awareness among ESL students regarding CEFR aligned speaking tests in the context of group discussions. And second research objective is to measure the perceived usefulness of CEFR aligned speaking tests in group discussion as perceived by ESL students. So this research used a descriptive quantitative method where the researchers analyzed the phenomenon found during the research. So this research was conducted at UiTM Sarawak and also UiTM Malacca. In total, 105 diploma students who are taking Integrated Language Skill 2 ELC151 at UiTM Samarahan, UiTM Samarahan 2, UiTM Mukah, and UiTM Alor Gajah participated in this questionnaire. So for your information, ELC151 is a mandatory general English course that needs to be taken by first year, second semester students of UiTM. So the material and instruments used in this questionnaire is 5 rating Likert scale questionnaire. So there were 3 sections in this questionnaire. Section 1 is regarding students profiling. Section 2 is regarding awareness of about CEFR, and section 3 about the usefulness of CEFR. And 5 rating Likert scale questionnaire ranged from 1 strongly disagree to 5 strongly agree. All right, so these are some of the questions used or asked in the questionnaire. 5 questions on awareness and 4 questions on usefulness. Now let's move on to the results and discussion. In order to achieve research objective 1, they are one, two, three, four, five. Yeah, there are five questions asked to the respondents. Yeah, so the first questions were the students were asked whether they are aware or familiar with the CEFR. So the finding found out that 41 students or respondents responded neutral. Okay, neutral, so it means that they have lack of strong opinions, or they are unfamiliar or uncertain about what is CEFR. So this can be due to the lack of training, limited knowledge, and time constraints that the educators face in understanding the CEFR framework itself. Table 2 here shows that respondents' awareness of speaking tests based on CFR standard. So here, the participants were asked whether they had ever taken or taught speaking tests based on CEFR standards. So the findings found out that 40 students responded agree, okay, while 37 respondents responded neutral. All right, so here it can be said that the students, they knew that they had taken speaking test based on CEFR, but 37 of them answered neutral, which means they are uncertain or lack of clear cut understanding of regarding the specific nature of the test. Next, table 3 shows respondents' level of agreement on the descriptors of the CEFR levels. So here students were asked if they knew the descriptors of for CEFR levels. So 47 students responded they knew about it. However, what I would like to highlight here is that there were critiques by the scholars about the development and validation of CEFR descriptors, whereby some words or wordings used in the descriptors were abstract, overlapping, have theoretical gaps, and so forth. So CFR rating scales lack reference, which can cause difficulty and confusion among learners and educators. So they some sort of have a conflict here. Students answered they know, they agree regarding the descriptors, but then some scholars said there are confusions. Yeah. All right. Next, table 4 is about respondents' level of agreement of incorporating CFR in language instruction in improving the accuracy of language assessment. So here, students were asked if they thought incorporating CFR improved the accuracy of language assessment. So from here, the findings showed that 32 students responded agree and 25 strongly disagreed. So we can see that there is a competition in the number. CFR here, it can be summarized that CFR can be tailored according to the context or situation need, which is supported by a study in Japan by Nagai and O'Dwyer 2011, which stated that CFR can fit the educational context because of its global nature. Last but not least, for the first research objective, Table 5 shows respondents' level of agreement of using CFR to set clear language learning goals. So here students were asked if they felt using CFR helped set clear language learning goals. And 30 students responded agree, 22 students responded disagree. So here it shows that students, they have uncertainties about its effectiveness as well. Next, in order to achieve research objective 2, which is to measure the perceived usefulness of CFR aligned speaking tests in group discussion as perceived by ESL students. So here, participants were asked about the clarity and helpfulness of CFR descriptors in identifying their strengths and weaknesses in speaking skills. So it can be said that 45.7 students agreed 45.7% agreed that CFR descriptors are clear and helpful. And this is supported by Singanoto in 2019, which stated that CFR descriptors are easy to refer to, clear, and beneficial for students. Next, students were asked if they believe these tests were fair and unbiased, regardless of the test taker's background or native language, and 50 of them responded agree. So it can be said that CFR in nature concerns the coherence in logic, CFR is also where is being used where language accuracy is the lowest level of evaluation. So it means that CFR observes students' positive points instead of picking out their grammatical mistakes. Next, students were asked if they found the feedback given for their speaking skills based on CFR descriptors are helpful. So 47.6% agreed that the feedback based on CFR descriptors were beneficial in aiding their improvement in speaking skills. Where this is supported by SAC in 2019, where he stated that students can increase their performance tasks from one level to another and promotes autonomous learning among themselves. Last but not least, students were asked if they perceived CEFR aligned speaking tests as a barrier to achieve better language proficiency, and 51.4% agreed to this. And it is also undeniable advantage of the CFR framework is its ability to facilitate more straightforward discussions about language competencies and proficiencies. So, as for the conclusion, findings of this study contribute to the understanding of diploma students' perceptions towards the usefulness of CFR in speaking test discussions. So, there are positive perceptions regarding the usefulness of the CFR in speaking test discussions, and the descriptors in CFR are clear and helpful in identifying strengths and weaknesses. Not only that, CFR aligned speaking tests is viewed as unbiased, fair, and valuable. Notable percentage of participants express concerns about CFR aligned tests acting as barriers to achieve better language proficiency. Not only that, neutral was a common response here, and it shows that students have moderate sorry for the spelling error there. Students have moderate level of awareness and familiarity with CEFR. So it can be highlighted that the need for further discussions, training, and clarification to enhance participants' understanding and confidence in utilizing CEFR. So that is all from us. Thank you so much, and I'll open the session for Q&A session.